guys, it's Jenny here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with my March TBR. Oh my god, did you just hear Faith hit her head? Faithy. Anyways, so it is currently March 2nd, so I'm getting a late start already, which kind of sucks. And I do have quite a large TBR again. Obviously, these are definitely subject to change. I might change my mind or stuff like that. But there are a couple books that I need to read for book clubs or mass-a-thons or read-alongs. So I have 6 for sure, and then I have another 6 that are kind of just the ones I want to focus on and try to get through. So out of this whole TBR, I have 3 that I want to read on audiobook for sure, maybe 4. So let's just get right into it. So the first book that I want to pick up in March is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 2 in the Throne of Glass series, and this is our March read for my mass-a-thon that I'm hosting. And I'm so excited to get back into this because I love this book so much. It's one of my favorites in the series, and I just reread the last paragraph, which literally makes me want to cry every time. Oh my god, I need to stop reading it again because it's going to get me so emotional. So this follows Selena after the outcome of her competition to be the King's Champion. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm so excited to get into this, guys. Like, I could not be happier to crack this book back open and annotate it this time. So I'm super stoked about this. This is for my mass-a-thon. The next book is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and we are reading this for Morgan and I's Backlist Book Club. We haven't really done any live shows for this. It's kind of just like a personal thing. She and I reading kind of the same book so that we can talk about them together. And she has already finished this, and I'm pretty excited to reread this. So this focuses on a girl named Star who lives in this black community. She goes to a private school, and one night she goes to this party, leaves with one of her best friends, and on the way home, she gets pulled over. She and her friend get pulled over by this white police officer. Long story short, she ends up watching her best friend get shot for seemingly no reason. So this kind of follows her and learning to find her voice in this turmoil of controversy in her community, and the movie was so good. The movie made me sob like bad. I wasn't expecting to cry that hard in the movie, but yeah, so excited to read this. Which brings me to my next book, which is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. So, I've heard so many good things about this already. Like, this just came out at the beginning of February, I believe, and I'm pretty sure it has already been picked up for a movie, and every single booktuber I've watched that has read this has said that they liked it even better than The Hate You Give, which is like mind-blowing to me. So this centers on a girl named Bree who dreams of becoming a rapper, and her father was an underground rapper who died before he could make it big. So her family's kind of struggling financially. They're facing eviction notice and shut-off notices. So what she wants to become, which is this rapper, is something that not only she feels like she wants to do, but now with all this pressure building on her, she feels like she has to. So obviously, she faces a lot of controversy because of her race and because of her age. People just think she's a hoodlum. So this is all about her trying to gain fame to support her family and follow her dreams and her father's dreams. And this is actually set in the same community as The Hate You Give, which is Garden Heights. And I'm really pumped to read this. I was going to read this physically, but a lot of people that I have seen read this have said that the audiobook is much better because they actually rap out the raps in the audiobook. So I'm kind of like conflicted. I want to read this physically, but at the same time, I think I would get a better understanding of the book if I could hear the raps too. So I'm not really sure what to do about this book yet, but I'm really pumped to read it. Next, oh, and this is also one of the books that I'm reading for Melanie's Spring Into Reading-a-thon. Next, we have The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. This is book 2 in the Wrath and the Dawn duology, and I'm super pumped to reread this. I just finished Wrath and the Dawn in February, and I'm dying to get a hold of this book because I love it so much. And yeah, I don't really know what to say about this because this is a sequel, but I'm also reading this for Melanie's Spring Into Reading-a-thon, which that video will probably be already up by the time you see this. Next, I'm reading The Last Bear by Lauren DeStefano. This basically centers on a princess, I think. She's the fourth and only daughter of the king of the world's wealthiest nation. She's grown up in the shadows and kept hidden from the world in order to serve as a spy for her father. And one night she's attacked, and she discovers that she can turn people into gemstones with her touch. Hello, Shatter Me vibes. So I'm super intrigued by this. I've had this for a while, and I just never got around to it. So this is one book that I'm reading for Melanie's Spring Reading-a-thon. I'm hoping to pick this up on audio because I think it'll propel me through it faster. And it also helps if I can have an audiobook going and a physical book. If I could get myself to actually read audiobooks, which is also something I've been dealing with lately, is being in a major book slump. So hopefully I can take care of that in March, because March is reading month and I would just really like to read some in March. Faithy says hi. What a cutie patootie. She's like, I know, Mom, you didn't need to tell me that. She's like, I'm an annoyed cutie patootie. Alright, so then I also have Wing Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Tucholke. This is kind of just a thriller. I don't really know much about it. All it says is 2 girls, 1 boy, 1 summer, 1 bad thing. What really happened, someone knows, and someone is lying. And this is the last book I'm reading for Melanie's Spring Into Reading-a-thon. So this has also been on my shelf for a while, and I think it's going to be a really, really short read. I could probably finish this in 2 days if I really put my mind to it. So yeah. The more I look at it and the more I have it in my hands, the more I'm intrigued and want to pick it up. I'm almost dreading telling you guys the next book I'm going to pick up, because the next book I'm holding right now is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, which you guys know my history with this book. I've tried to pick this book up 6 times and have never been able to get into it. And I know I'm going to like it if I can just get to a certain part of the book. The only problem is that some part of my conflicted reader brain just doesn't want to process some of the information and just forget some of the stuff. And so I'm like, oh, la 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 la, and whatever, and then I just get sidetracked and want to pick up something else. And I just wish that I had the audiobook for this on Scribd or Overdrive or anywhere that I could listen to it and speed it up, because I could probably get through this so much faster on audio. I'm so determined to read this because I want to get to King of Scars so bad, and I can't do that until I read Six of Crows. So one of my big goals is to try to get through this in March. I honestly don't know if that's going to happen or not. Only time will tell. But I'm really hoping to will it into being. So basically this is just 6 dangerous outcasts and 1 impossible heist. I've gone over this book so many times on this channel. You guys are probably like, dude, shut up. We know what it's about. Because this book has been on my TBR so many times. This has probably been in upwards of 6 of my TBR videos. Moment of silence. Anywho, moving on. The next book is The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is book 2 in the Cruel Prince... No, that's not what it's called. Isn't it called... What's it called? I thought the series had a name. I don't want to just call it the Cruel Prince series. What's it called? There's a name at the top of my head that I can't think of. The Foulke of Air series. There we go. And this is book 2. It's a fairly short read. I actually did start it, but I never continued. I'm only on page 20. So I've heard some pretty good things about this. I've also heard that it's got a really awful ending. and it's going to leave us at a cliffhanger. So I'm going to need some, let me just say that it's a good thing I got that Hangover crate, because by the sounds of it, I'm going to need it. So I would really like to get through this. It's very short, so I honestly don't know why I'm struggling so hard, because it's only 322 pages. Like, I just need to get a grip lately, guys. I really do. Next, we have Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I don't know why. I just stared at my bookshelf for a while, and I'm like, I really freaking want to reread Twilight. So, here we are. So I think I'm probably just going to reread Twilight and rewatch the movies, because I don't know. The first time I read Twilight, and I've only read the series once, so there's that at least. The first time I read them, I was in such a good reading place at that time. I was going through one Twilight book a day. Like, I would sit and I would just binge. I would not get up. I would just binge this whole book. Like, I sat down and read Twilight in one sitting. One sitting. Granted, I wasn't in school at that time and I had a lot of time on my hands. But, like, I don't know. There's something about her writing style and, like, the comfort of a trashy YA novel. And I mean trashy in the best sense, because I really love Twilight. Come at me for it. I don't care. I will always love Twilight. But there's something about it that I'm hoping will pull me out of a book slump. That combined with Crown of Midnight and the Rose and the Dagger. See what I'm doing here? I'm trying to reread a couple of some good books that I know will get me in the mood to pull me out of this slump, because I'm never going to be able to reach my goal for the year. I still don't actually think I can now that February was such a flop. But we'll see. You already know what Twilight's about. It's about vampires. Guys, it's Twilight. You know. So next, I, again, was staring at my bookshelf and I'm like, I don't know why. I wanted to read this book in the summer, but right now it's really calling to me. And I really miss the Shatter Me series, so I'm like, well, I want to pick up A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahereh Mafi. This is following a Muslim girl after 9/11, and yeah, she's facing all this racism after 9/11 until she meets this guy named Ocean. So, yeah, it's all about a love story of how this boy falls in love with a Muslim girl after 9/11, and I've heard that this is super good, because I very much so trust Whitney's opinion, and I don't know, I was just looking at it, and this is a book I really wanted to pick up, like, around May or June, but I saw it on my shelves, and I'm like, yes, March, and I don't know why, but I'm just like, okay, we'll go for it, and it's actually super short, too. So it's only 310 pages, and we love a short book when I'm in a book slump. Love that for me. So next, I have Arushat on the End of Time by Rashidi Chakshi. This was on my February TBR, and I would like to carry it over, because I really did enjoy the first chapter or so that I read of it, and I have the opportunity to get this on audiobook, so I think I'm going to do that. It's about a girl follows Hindu mythology, I think. Hindu mythology? I think. I can't remember. Indian mythology. So, super pumped. What I've read from it already has very much so followed Rick Riordan's writing style, and the chapter names itself very much so give me Rick Riordan vibes. So I think I'm going to enjoy it. I just have to get the motivation to read some books. And the Faith. Why are there bite marks on glass sword? Hey. Faith. Come here. I need to have a stern talking with you. Look. Why are there bite marks on glass sword, ma'am? She's like, well, do you know why? She's like I have the right to remain silent. It's a good thing I have another copy. Lovely. So I have Glass Sword on my TBR. I've been wanting to continue the series for a while. It's literally been like a freaking year since I read Red Queen. It has been a year since I read that, and this book takes place directly after that book. So I would finally really like to get into this, and I do have this on audio, so I would really like to get around to that. I don't know if you guys just saw me hit myself in the face and get lipstick all over this book, but love that for me. So, I have a whopping 12 books on my March TBR. I'm not going to comment and try to say that I hope I'm going to get through them, because that's what I've been saying for this whole entire year, and that hasn't done me any good so far. So I'm just going to say we're going to hope for the best, and I'm not going to make any promises because I've been very unreliable in the reading department lately. But I just hope my reading will speed up at some point, because I would really, really, really like to conquer some of this massive TBR that I have. I have so many unread books on my shelves. Don't tell my dad that. So I feel like I got a really good selection. It's a very diverse selection. You got your mix of audiobooks and rereads and new releases. And I even have some TBR veterans on here, like Wing Poppy Midnight and Glass Sword, or Glass Bear. So we're just gonna hope for the best. Here, let's hope I don't ruin any books or ruin myself in the making of this. So here is my March TBR for 2019. I hope I can get to all these books, because that would be lovely. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for a new video. So stay tuned. It will probably be my February wrap-up, because I still have to finish Throne of Glass. I only have 60 pages though, so pray for me. So yes, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed.